Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading on the roommate from hell. So maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but how many of you guys are in a situation right now where you feel like the person or the people that you're living with are very toxic? I'm not talking about a family situation here. These are people that are not blood relatives, that are roommates that you're living with. So I have had a couple of people hit me up recently asking me about this question, and so I'm going to go ahead and get started. But real quick, as you guys can see, I'm here in Egypt. I'm absolutely loving it. It's starting to feel like home here. I've actually been here before, so I have one more month before I can go back into Europe, so I'm just chilling and hanging out here and doing all y'all's personal readings. So hope you guys will enjoy the view in my next couple pick a card readings. I love the architecture here. It's really, really cool. I'm hanging out in Maadi in Egypt. Anybody else out there in Egypt? You guys want to meet up? I'll be here for a couple of weeks. I would love to hang out and just chill, read some cards for you. So go ahead and email me if you want to meet up while I'm here in Egypt. So let's do this. Pick a card, number 1, number 2, or number 3, and we're going to get started. Okay, so if you choose number 1, I've got your cards right here, and we're going to look into your situation and just see what we can do to help you through this. Okay, so number 1, what I'm seeing for you is, yeah, this is really rough. This is super toxic. You're in an environment where you feel like you can't be creative. You're being really stifled. I'm not talking in this situation about someone who maybe just has friends over late or a roommate who's kind of messy. I'm talking about toxic, hostile environment here. Okay, so it's so hostile. The vibes are so intense that you feel like your boundaries are being crossed, and so it's hard for you to be creative. It's hard for you to work on any schoolwork that you have. It's difficult for you to move forward, and I see that no matter how many times you're trying to put up boundaries and create space from this person or these people that you're living with, it's almost impossible. So and then we see the Waters of Life card. This is such a beautiful card. When I get this card upright, it usually means that you're in this beautiful place, you get to relax and nurture yourself, and the pine tree represents strength. The swan represents that you're leaving difficult times behind. But I got this card reversed, and so it's saying that you don't feel relaxed, you don't feel like this is a tranquil environment, you don't feel like you can actually rest in this situation, and it's almost like you don't feel safe. So and then I'm seeing the struggle card, and I'm getting a download that this person or these people that you're living with had a toxic family or had a dysfunctional family. So let's talk about this for a second. We're all born into families. A lot of us are born into toxic families. I've been through this. And so, you know, after that, it can be really rough to connect with people in a healthy way. This is something you kind of have to train yourself to do, you know, through therapy, through self-work, through self-love. A lot of people, though, go through their life. Some people never realize that they have these root traumas from family, and so they take that forward with them into every relationship they go into, especially when you're living with someone. Going back to my past, thinking about some of the toxic habits I had when I was living with roommates, maybe I was the toxic roommate at one point, because I do remember, like, before I became aware and more conscious, some of the things I did. And so this person might not be aware of what they're doing or what they're causing. They're just like playing out these kind of programming from their childhood. So you might be dealing with someone who doesn't know how to cohabitate in a healthy way, and so they might be very codependent with you and treating you almost like a family member, but in a toxic way. Like, there's no healthy boundaries. Maybe they don't knock before they come in your room. Maybe they're using your stuff without asking. Maybe they're just disrespecting you. Maybe they're fighting with you or arguing with you. Maybe they're emotionally exploding all over you. You know, and I think that there's this situation here where it's causing you a lot of struggle. I also see for some of you guys, this person is leaving you hanging financially, like they're not paying the full bill, or they're kind of playing the victim or the martyr and pushing things off as far as like their duties. Maybe you guys have an agreement that you guys are supposed to both help clean the bathroom, but like they're not doing their share or something, and they're like, I'm sorry, it's just been so hard at work or whatever. I even remember, I have so many stories. I did have quite a few roommates. This is a tame story. I have way worse, but this is kind of crazy. I lived with this one girl once. I went over to who's my then boyfriend, who is now my husband's, house for the weekend. And when I came back, I like laid in my bed and like I felt something under my back, and I was like, what is that? And I pulled it out, and it was somebody's phone, and I didn't recognize it. I was like, whose phone is this? So I knocked on my roommate's door and was like, hey girl, like what's going on? Like, whose phone is this? Why was it in my bed? And she's like, oh, that's my mom's phone. And I'm like, why is your mom's phone in my bed? And she's like, oh, my mom spent the night and slept in your room. And I was like, yeah, don't let people sleep in my room, and if you like need something from my room, text me and like let me know. Put a lock on my door after that. So maybe you're in that situation, maybe you gotta put a lock on your door, and maybe this person is stealing stuff from you or just being weird. What I do see is that this person is a member of your soul family, okay? So there's a part of you who feels kind of sorry for them, or you feel connected with them, or you feel kind of like maybe it's a best friend of yours, and so that makes it even more awkward. And so this is a reunion card saying you guys came together and like attracted each other for a reason. It's possible you've known each other in a past life or something, but that doesn't make up for the fact that your boundaries are being completely neglected and ignored. And in this situation, I think it's toxic. You're also going through a lot right now. It's like you're going through a spiritual awakening or dark night of the soul. Your vibration's rising, and it's like at this point, like your frequency is not resonating with this person. And so to be completely honest, the advice that I see for you is to move, either to look for another roommate or to move. And I don't think that's going to be the advice for everybody, because I did kind of peek at the cards. But for those of you guys who did choose number one, this is the fox, it's the trickster. So they're reminding you that some of the things that you're seeing this roommate do, and part of the reason you're so upset at them is because they're mirroring back to you maybe parts of yourself that like you need to work on or you've worked on. For instance, I had a roommate once that really liked to gossip, and I had to pass with that. And so this person would kind of suck me down into that energy, and I didn't really know else how to connect with this roommate, and so we would always be gossiping together, and it just wasn't good for me. And so there might even be some kind of like that going on, like where their energy is sucking you down into a lower vibe. It's hard to be strong around them. And so I'm seeing you need to find a better match. You need to find somewhere to live, because this is your home. It's so important that the energy in your home is peaceful, and it can't always be perfect. You can't control what other people do, but what you can do is have strong boundaries and set expectations and maybe even limitations on the kind of interactions you're having, rules about who cleans what or who shares what, or don't come in my room, or text me if or don't have people over after this time. I just feel like you've tried to set rules, you've tried to set boundaries, and this person completely ignores them. So it's almost like dealing with a narcissist or something like that. I don't really like to label people, but it could be someone that just doesn't understand boundaries, didn't have boundaries in their home growing up, has different expectations on what a roommate relationship is, isn't as professional as you would expect that to be, and now they're all up in your life, all up in your business, and it's time to move. And so I do believe you can find another roommate and you can manifest a better situation. I eventually did. And have you ever heard that saying, sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince? Well, it's kind of like that with roommates too. And so you're learning a lot from every single person you live with. I learned so much from every single roommate that I roomed with, about myself, about others, about boundaries, about what kind of energies I should and shouldn't allow in my life. And you're learning that there are good people out there. It's never going to be perfect. Everyone's going to have weird habits. People get weird. I'm always the messy roommate. I'm an Aquarius, so we're not talking about little things like that. We're talking about this is kind of toxic and dangerous here. And so if you're feeling in your heart and your soul that sick feeling in your stomach, and you know that this person is like draining energy from you, you can't set boundaries, it's impossible, you need to move, okay? And I know that the universe will provide you the money and the means and everything you need. It's not impossible. Yeah, it's stressful if you've got school or work or 3 jobs or whatever. Obviously there's a reason you have a roommate, because financially you probably need one, and so that can be rough. and part of you just wants to settle, but there's going to be a breaking point, and trust me, you don't want to go through the holidays with this person. I just have this feeling like it's going to blow up around December, around November with this person or these people you're living with. So you need to really focus. October, November is a great time to look for new places. There's great energy right now. There's like no Mercury retrograde, Jupiter's direct, money will come to you. And I definitely am praying for you and sending you love and light that you will get into a more stable situation and just move forward, Don't waste your time talking shit on this person to your friends and people. I know how that was. I used to always, go out with my friends and be like, oh my gosh, what did your roommate do next? And it becomes this like juicy gossip thing. And so don't talk about this person. Don't make it drama. Just move past it. The more you talk about it, the more you focus on it, the more upset you are, the more it drains you, the more it perpetuates the energy, and you don't want to give it attention. You just want to focus on how am I going to get past this, move forward, okay? So I hope with this energy message resonated with you. I feel like for those of you guys who chose number 1, you got to get out of there, okay? It's time, and you were meant to see this message for a reason, and you can do it, all right? I'm wishing you luck. Peace out. All right, so those of you guys who chose number 2, I'm gonna go get your cards real quick. They're down here. I'm back. So if you chose number 2, got a toxic roommate situation. I'm not just talking about someone who leaves the dishes in the sink or, maybe has friends over late sometimes. I'm talking about a hostile environment here, okay? I talked a little bit about in number 1. I'm gonna talk about this in every number about how oftentimes the reason a toxic roommate exists is because this is somebody who comes from a toxic background, a toxic family, maybe someone who has trauma. Usually this person or these people are not aware of that, so they're going around unconsciously creating drama, having lack of boundaries, draining your energy, and it's not your responsibility to help them or fix them. And in this situation, what I am seeing, there's like this darkness around this person. And so I remember it was like only for a couple months. I had a friend whose significant other moved in, and this person had such a dark vibe around them. It was so intense. Like I'm such an empath and energy sensitive that like they were in the next room to me, and I felt so sick being next to this energy, and I was just like, I can't anymore. I can't do this. And so maybe it's just like this vibe you're getting, because I'm feeling it's just like a vibe, and you're very energy sensitive. You might even have spiritual gifts. You might be clairvoyant or probably definitely clairsentient, an empath. And so you have a hard time around harsh energies. And I feel like this person gets mad. This person is very moody, and so it's unpredictable. This card has a lot to do with like feeling like the energy is unpredictable around this person. And so when you walk in the door, you don't know what to expect. You don't know if you have to help this person because they're having a meltdown or if they want to party. And I do feel like this person expects you to drop everything to like be there for them. And I feel like you've made friends with this person. And you guys have also been through a lot together. Like there's a message that they've been there for you too. So there's like this guilt involved with the situation because you feel like obligated to help them or to be there for them or something. And so what I'm seeing is it does make you really tired. This is draining your energy, and you want a new beginning is what I'm seeing. You really want to be free. You're working towards trying to like live by yourself and live on your own, and I do see that manifesting. This is a message that your roommate or your roommates have been through a lot too. I do feel like for you guys, you're dealing with one specific person here for some reason. A lot of you guys who chose number 2, it's like one person. There's a lot of mystery surrounding them. Like they haven't revealed to you some of their past. So I feel like if you knew their story, it would make a lot more sense why they act the way they are, why they're doing the things they're doing. But it's just like sometimes you're like, why? Like why is this person coming at me like that, I also see opportunities around this person. This person could have given you an opportunity in work, or they help drive you places or something like that, or like there's some kind of codependency you have with this person, which is what makes it really difficult. And so what I am seeing is for now, This is about starting some kind of project or activity that you've already been wanting to start. It might have to do with taking some kind of class, but basically this is about spending less time around them. You know, getting yourself busy so that you don't have to deal with their drama. So that you come home and they're coming at you and you're like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry, I have a phone call, or I got something to write. I really wish I could talk, but I'm really busy right now. You know, grabbing your stuff and going to a coffee shop if you have to. I know that sucks, you know, no one should have to live like that, but I feel like you're not getting a lot of space from this person. Their boundaries, your boundaries aren't being respected. And so this is about busying yourself with some type of project, hobby, or activity that's working you towards your goals and your dreams and desires, so you don't have to be wrapped up in this person's emotions. They're really expecting you to be there for them emotionally a lot. And I feel like they've picked up on the fact that you're sensitive and you're an empath, and you got to be careful, because sometimes when people realize that, they will mooch off it, and they'll come around you so you tell them nice things and so that you're nice to them, and you feel so drained, you know. Keep your energy. Yeah, you want to help people. Yeah, you want to be nice, but should all your energy be going to this person? I see that you also have a demanding job. So, you know, you're busy at work, demanding job, come home, demanding roommate. There's got to be a line that's drawn, and it's going to be weird at first. When you take that away from them and they're so used to getting that energy from you, they're going to feel that deficit. They're going to get angry, and I think this is going to be really interesting. If you start pulling back, you start spending more time away, working on your projects. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I really wish I could, but I need to go out. I got to work on this book I'm writing or something like that, or whatever it is. I think that you're going to start realizing that they might get upset at you. You might get the silent treatment. Those are more signs of toxic behavior, and just let them be. Keep doing you is the message. Yeah, you got to get out of there eventually, but I see for you, you're on your way to saving up to get your own place anyways. And so just keep working towards that goal. I don't see those of you guys who picked number 2, I don't see that you're gonna need to have a roommate much longer. It's just about kind of getting through this hump. It's more about just enabling you to like have a better quality of life. I feel like a lot of you guys probably could afford to get like a studio or get a place on your own, but it's just about the quality of life right now, having the roommate so you can have those extra finances freed up. And so it is a benefit, but at the same time, if your energy is being drained, it's kind of hard. I don't see that you need to like move out right now, but I think this is about being aware of the energy that you are giving to this person, and you're not obligated. Also, there's a message coming out about you explaining yourself. I think this person is kind of up in your business a little bit, and you're talking a lot about your plans, your goals, your dreams, and this person is a downer. This person's always like, but yeah, did you think about this? Or, oh, but how are you gonna get the money for that? Or what if you don't get this or that, you know? And so this person, you like randomly will talk about your ideas, things you're excited about, and they kind of subtly put it down and kind of tell you it's not possible or you can't do it or something. And so you got to really be aware of this energy and the words that are coming from this person, and maybe stop sharing your ideas and plans with them. I think there's this technique with dealing with toxic people that's called the gray rock technique, where basically when you talk to a toxic person, you become as interesting as a gray rock. So they're like, how was your day? And you're like, oh, it was all right, you know, pretty good. So what happened with your boss at work? And like maybe you told them in the past some drama and stuff, and they're like digging and they're trying to get some energy out of you and trying to get that supply out of you, you know? And you're just like, oh, it's fine, like things are better. Ooh, what about that guy that you went on the date with? What's going on with that? And you're like, oh, it was nice, you know? And, you know, at first when you start giving someone the gray rock technique after you've been kind of giving more to them in the past, they're gonna think something's off, and they might even call you on it, but you just keep going, I'm fine, no worries, yeah, it's all good. And you just keep going like that. Interesting, oh sorry, you know, my phone's ringing, oh I gotta answer this text, I have to use the bathroom, you know, kind of like avoiding them a little bit, and pretty soon they just will pretty much F off and go find someone else to mess with and do their whole thing with and play their games with. So this is pretty much just about keeping your head down, focusing on your goals, and not getting too involved with this person. Just a reminder, and I think you've got it. you know, you do have the ability to set some boundaries with this person. I think like it's a little bit better of a situation than I saw in number 1, but be aware of these negative mindset that this person has, and how that could be affecting you. It's very, very subtle, so you don't want to give away too much of your information, your details, your life to this person. You know, you're just gonna have to find some other people to be vulnerable with that are more safe for you. And this is just saying rest. You know, when you're at home, spend your time resting. You need to utilize that time. You don't need to be giving so much energy to that roommate. So I hope that this message resonates with you, and I'm sending you so much love and light. Peace out. So if you choose number 3, going down to get your cards. So, first of all, what I'm seeing for you is that out of all the numbers, this is like the least toxic roommate. This person is, yes, definitely toxic, but I'm seeing you do have a lot of respect for them. This might be someone you've known for a while that you're living with. If it's not, it's someone that you know, like you respect them because you see how far they've come and you know they're making positive changes in their life. So maybe this is someone who's also going through a spiritual awakening, or someone who has tried to better their life from a rough past or something. So there's a lot of respect you have for them overall, but there's still like this toxic vibe to them. Okay, so I'm not talking about a roommate that leaves the dishes in the sink or someone who is kind of messy or something. I'm talking, this is a reading for people who are very toxic, you know? And I see for you, excuse me, I see for you that you're trying to stay dedicated because you feel like you're stuck in this situation. Like, it might be a situation where you guys together got like a cheap rent or something, or got some kind of legit situation going on. Like, you got a deal on this place and it's awesome and everything's great, but your roommate is kind of toxic. And so it's hard, you know, there's a part of you that respects them and that doesn't really want to admit that, like, yeah, there's some toxic vibes coming from them. Maybe you also feel like you kind of contribute to the situation a little bit. It's like you gotta like admit your part in everything too, and you're dedicated to staying in the situation you're in. It might be that like you are literally stuck because you're in college and this is like your dorm mate and you can't get it switched or something, or you're stuck in a lease or something like that. So I do see you gotta stay. This is a situation where you gotta stay. And the thing is, I'm feeling about this roommate is that they're depressed. They've got an energy of depression and anxiety around them. And so the energy that you're feeling coming from them isn't necessarily like intentional towards you. Whereas number 1, yeah, that was intentional. This one, I don't feel like it's intentional. I just think that their vibes are kind of hectic. And so you're trying to be strong through it. You want to be strong for them. But I feel like you're a little worried that this energy is going to ruin some of your opportunities, because there's like opportunities coming to you. I see a lot of opportunities coming to you, and then this roommate sees that and they're jealous and they're a little depressed and they're going through their own thing. Blessings will come to your roommate as well. Sorry, it's a little crazy out here. Lots of construction going on. I'll wrap this up. But basically they're a little jealous and they're a little bit kind of depressed, and I know what this is like because I've battled depression like my whole life. And so personally for me, when I'm depressed, in the past, before I really worked on my thoughts and my energy and behavior, I did used to just project my depression onto the people around me, like complaining all the time and talking shit and just being upset, and so this person is doing that around you. You know, what's coming out is just like a manifestation of how they feel inside. But what I see is like you're really susceptible to that energy. You're an empath, and so being around that is really rough for you, and it's just draining your energy. And so to combat this, I see you spending more time being creative. I see you spending a lot more time getting grounded, spending time in nature. Instead of being at home all the time with a roommate, get out and go on a hike. You need to spend less time around this person. I think in a couple months or maybe a year when your lease is up, you can leave and you can part ways with this person. I do see that you guys will kind of be friends and probably still talk on social media, but you got to get some space. So your creativity. All right, guys, I gotta go. It's getting cray-cray out here. I'll see you guys later. I really hope this helped. This is a rough topic. Let me know if you guys think this resonates. I'm sending you so much love and light as always. Peace out.